What's going on, guys? I wanted to hop on here and give you an update on what's going on in the shop. I know that I've said before that I was going to start doing these on a more regular basis like I used to, and I apologize for that because I have not done that. I don't want to say I'm going to do something and not do it, which is exactly what I've done. So anyway, please forgive me. I do want to get on here more often, though. I actually do, but just life gets in the way. So I've got quite a bit of things going on here in the shop. I want to show you a few things, a couple of little cool things I might be getting into. But before I talk about any of that stuff, as far as videos go, if you've been following me or watching the videos that I put out, you know I've been putting out some home improvement videos. I put out a shutter video on how to make shutters, and there's a free plan with that project. And then I've replaced the columns on the front of my house. I've got a picket fence video coming out that I wanted to actually hide my trash cans and hide my air unit on the end of my house. It just, from the I guess from the street view, you can't see that stuff because I added these little picket fences. But anyway, I did a video on that, on how to make your own. So, you could build a little picket fence around your patio to keep dogs or animals away or whatever. But that was real easy, very affordable, by the way. That'll be coming out soon. And then also I created a little decorative piece for one of my gables on my house. Did that. I got a couple more things I want to do. I just don't know when I'm going to do those things yet. I do want to complete a lean-to out here. That is probably a little bit higher on my list than it previously was, because I've got to get some stuff out of my carport to finish the outdoor kitchen, which is another part of a video series that I want to do. So with the outdoor kitchen video series, I've created a couple of chairs. I've built those. I've got plans for those. I have not released the video yet. And then along with that, I want to build a pergola and then do a table. There's quite a few things there, but time is really not on my side for that project. I want to try to get done with that before the cold weather hits, and we're already into fall, so I need to get on that pretty quick. So around the shop here, but before I want to also mention the podcast. I've just been putting out episodes when I really just have something to talk about, or I feel like it actually. So it's not high on my list, but I do want to keep it going. So I released one yesterday evening, just talking about the different things going on in the shop. So go listen to that if you haven't listened to that yet. It talks a little bit about what's going on here, but I'll show you guys here now. So anyway, I'm going to be rearranging the shop again, I know, but for those of you that know, let me see if I can get around here to this table. All right, so I've got Jay's planer in here now. That is probably where that's going to live. All of this, the dust bin, the dust collector, all of that, and then all of the pipes and everything that you see here, all that's coming out. We've got a new dust collector coming, and that planer right there is a new addition. And then also on this side, I've got Jay's joiner in my shop now. So I asked him if it would be okay if I just talk about that, and he said yes. So he's getting something new. I won't get into all of that. I'll let him do that. But he is upgrading in his shop, so I got the jointer and the planer here. And because of that, I needed to make room for that joiner. And also, I wanted to incorporate another miter saw station. Not really a station, but I'm going to put it back over here, build a box around it, and then move the CNC over there, where my desk is. And the reason for that is so I can use this over here. You can kind of see that little area. I want to use that for the miter saw. I think that's right now, that's just the prime location for this. And I was going to put it over here on this wall, but the joiner is actually making more sense over here on this wall. just for several reasons. On this brick wall over here, I've got my bandsaw, and it was over there by the door. Now, those two things are going to be the only thing on that wall, except I might build a little cart for. There's a little sander there. I don't know if you can see it. And also, I've got a oscillating spindle sander that I hardly ever use right there. And a couple more things. I may just build a small little cart to put those things on and just keep it out of the way. But I want to keep this area by the lumber rack, so you can see those slabs there. Just some extra space so I can lean slabs or things against the wall. I did have a lot of plywood over here, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I put that over in, there's a storage room on the other side of this wall, and so I put all the lumber or plywood in that room, and it's not open to the weather or anything. It's pretty good. It's sealed pretty good, so that's a good place for that. Now on the other side of the shop over here, let's see if I can get around here. So I moved my lathe. It was here, and I moved it here, and I'm just going to keep this open because if you notice, my table saw is back out in the middle of the shop now, with my outfeed table. So, you know, it's just a work in progress, but I did gain all of this wall space right here. So I've got a lot of that space to hang like jigs and different things. So pretty exciting stuff going on. And then over here, of course, this is kind of a mess, but I still have the charging station and all of this stuff over here. So anyway, some changes going on, and I did move the clamp rack, as you can see just a little bit of it here. It was right in here, and I moved it down that way. Actually, I just took this cabinet and the clamp rack and flipped them because it just made more sense as far as the layout goes, because now standing at the outfeed table, I've got my clamps, I've got my drills right there, and I've got all of my glue and everything over there. So it just makes sense. This is the assembly area, so I like this a lot better. But this is back in the same place. My outfeed table is back in the same place as it was before. But anyway, so yeah, new dust collector. That will be a project, and then rearrange all this stuff. I will be the one thing I do have to make before I move the CNC is a little CNC table over here, and I want to incorporate some storage below that just for some odd and end stuff that I've got laying around in the shop. So okay, so all of that, I'll keep you updated on all that stuff, and you know, once I start getting parts in for the dust collector, and I'll let you guys along, you know, we'll take you along for the ride for that and show you all that fun stuff. A friend of mine that I know, he's got a 3D printer, and he printed out a couple of these like Christmas ornaments basically, but this is what they call wood filler. It actually has wood dust in it, he said, and he wanted me to put some stain on it to see if it would actually hold stain, because they said it would hold stain. And this, if you'll notice, looks really, really good. I mean, the stain looks good on there. This is the original color, the filament, and then that is with the stain on it. So it looks pretty good. This is hollow. You can print a grid in there to make it a little more stable, but that didn't take as well. This is thicker, and so I think that's why that looks better. So anyway, that's kind of cool. We're gonna be doing a project together. And I won't tell it yet until we get to it, and so I'll show you guys. It's gonna be kind of cool. Something else that I'm working on is with the outdoor kitchen. I hope, and I don't know for sure, I hope to be working with a company that has some materials that I can use for like a countertop and other things, but you can actually cut this stuff with regular woodworking tools. So I've got, and you know, these different color samples, but if you'll look at let's see if I can show you. I don't know if it'll pick up or not. Let's see. Anyway, I don't know if it's gonna show up or not, but there's some layers in there. And all of this is, so you can almost see it there, but all of this is from recycled materials. And then it's got, I think, resin inside of it to stabilize it. So you can have like sheets of this stuff. And so this is pretty cool. I just cut that with a jigsaw, and it's really, really smooth. And then all you do is just sand it, and you can put some finish on it, but you don't have to. You can just sand this stuff, and that's all you need to do to it. So maybe using some of this stuff in some projects coming up. So be looking for that. Got some electrical going on. I've got, if you can see it right there, I had to run 220. So I had to take all of this stuff off the wall, take the screws out for this sheet of OSB, pull that panel off the wall, feed my wire down to the plug, cut that out, and now I've got to go up in the attic and feed it down over to my power panel. So that's going to be a 220 outlet. I've got to put another 220 outlet over there for my dust collector. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I wouldn't necessarily do a video on, but I can tell you guys here. So last thing I want to show you is, and you may have seen this on my Instagram or whatever, but there's a table right there, and that base, actually, just let me take it out and show you. So this is a table that I made. I cut it with this circle cutting jig from Rockler, and then the base on it is an upcycle base. My wife found this, and so I just refinished it and created a top out of 2x12s and cut it with a circle cutting jig, and it turned out pretty good. So anyway, I got a lot of things going on. I did do a video on that, and so I've got some things that I'm doing that I'm not actually recording, but I'm trying to push out some content. Like I told you guys, I've got somebody editing video for me, and that's a huge, huge help. So just really excited about how things are going. Hopefully I can be more on a tighter schedule with these kinds of videos, and also with my project videos, and also the podcast. So anyway, just want to fill you guys in. I know you guys here are just, you're engaging more so than anywhere else. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Leave me a comment down below as to what you think about any of the things I said. I'm open for suggestions and critique and just general input from you guys, because this is why I do what I do, to talk to you guys. So yeah, have a good weekend, and we'll see you.